And there was one element that was missing from our system that I felt was critical, which is the self-directed work, the space for autonomy and independence that Montessori champions. And as soon as we had these conversations, my mom and I, it was like a light bulb for her. She said, it's so true. Over the years, we've allowed the adults to do everything, and this is not how she was brought up, where she had to stitch her own dresses. People used to, they didn't go and buy a dresser, they would build it. And so the whole practical life dimension, which is critical to Montessori, which is so natural to have children do purposeful work around the classroom and the house, like setting the table for your friends or washing the windows, not as a play, a plastic play, fake type of activity, but as a real thing, so the child connects that, I set the right number of plates down so everybody could eat, or I missed one person. And that's eventually how they learn math. They connect one-to-one correspondence between the number of plates and the number of friends I have, right? So it's purposeful math rather than let's count to 10 in a song. And obviously you memorize it and it sounds great, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you don't really know what you're talking about, right? So it's a whole very rich territory. We can get, into the ins and outs of it, but the bottom line was it ticked all the boxes. We looked at the gap, and we were very close. But then this autonomous work, and I remember, my mom calling me one day, really excited, and they started sending videos back. So keep in mind, I'm focusing on the second campus, so I'm not really spending that much time in the existing school. I did a lot in the beginning. But then I'm really focused on the new campus. So it's meeting with landlords, contractors, municipalities, regulators, etc., interviewing people, and then feeding this research back. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then one day I start getting these videos back. I've been the one sending videos, and now I get these videos back. And basically they flipped the dining experience was always a very important part of the school. Sitting down, having a soup, a salad, a hot dish every day on a beautiful, table with a beautiful setting, flowers in the middle, etc. But it used to be set by the adults, and now, because of the videos I had shared, it triggered a light bulb, and so my mom changed the system around where she got volunteers. So the kids now would set the table, and the adults found it very awkward. They'd be sitting there, this is their job normally. And we'll do it. The kids do it okay, and the kids are so excited. They're running around the room, putting the plates and putting the tablecloth, etc., and then feeding themselves. And so they went through this whole journey, and how they're eating better because now they're involved. So we unleashed the autonomy, and that started in 2015, and it's just been increasing in terms of where we apply and finding more opportunities to bring that autonomy in. And if you remember the basic needs, do I matter? So when you say to a child, hey, you're responsible for holding your own bag, for emptying the bag, that's an excellent way to nurture this. Yes, you do matter. You do count, and your I is important. And then to satisfy the how do I do, we call them the keys to the universe. We show you, what is length? And length is this beautiful sensorial exercise where you're playing with rods of different length, and your finger is tracing this really long one. It's a meter, so it takes a really long time. And then there's this little short one, and then there's a medium one, and then you have to sort them. And so that's how you embed length as a concept, which you will never forget for the rest of your life, right? So that's a little bit about the nursery years. So in summary, this super, super developmental, absorbent period. And what we provide is an environment that is as natural as possible. So it feels like grandma and grandpa's house rather than this Disneyland concept, of many preschools with multicolored, things and horses and unicorns and colored pencils and on the wall, all that stuff. It feels literally like grandpa and grandma's place. The furniture is real, it's wooden, the garden is real, you've got trees and you can plant things and you grow your own tomatoes. And then the classroom is this little replica of a society, that we would all dream to live in, which is a place which is very rich in terms of the different activities you can get involved in, where you have the freedom to choose which ones, and of course there are rules to guide that. So in terms of respecting other people's work and when someone's working with something, etc. And so it's this space where you have a lot of autonomy and where you get to construct, you build your own knowledge rather than have it downloaded and you have to regurgitate it back. And the closest example, the way to think about this classroom is a bit like the gym. When you go to a gym, think of you're in the gym, you've got the strength areas and you've got the weights from a kilo up to 100 kilos. You've got the cardio area where you're working the heart muscle, from the treadmill to the skiing machine to the rowing machine to whatever. And the flexibility, let's say flexibility area, stretching area, the rollers and all of that. And so you've got different dimensions in the same space, and people, depending on their competency in each of these areas, are working at their optimal level. So you've got a marathon runner running at 25K on the treadmill, but maybe lifting 20 kilos. And you've got someone else who might be lifting 30 kilos on the bicep curl, but is jogging on the treadmill. That's where they're at. Or someone completely new, has never used the treadmill. And so there's a way of showing them how to use it. And so you do a presentation. Here's how you use a treadmill. Here's how you lift a bicep curl. And then off you are on your own. All the materials are out there. So imagine a classroom where all the chapters have been converted into materials, and you're not dependent on the teacher to come in every day and say, this is the one material we will discuss today, and all of you will do it, whether you find it too easy or too difficult. And I'm aiming for the average of the bell curve, right? If you're already ahead in this space, go ahead and go work with this advanced math material while the other child is doing an introductory material, and the children are moving around autonomously because we've shown them how to use these materials in an autonomous way. So there's a lot there, but the most important thing I think is that it's really serves those natural needs very, very well at that age.